All right, welcome to BLT on Rye. Lockdown lifted slightly. We're in yellow phase.
Lockdown lifted for Luke.
Yeah.
I remain on lockdown at all times.
I am also on lockdown.
I mean, you guys understand that, like, the idea is that we are slowly releasing some of the... Like, I'm not running out and, like, playing touch football and open mouth kissing people at the ICU yet. Like,
but that's on the list.
We're gonna get there, but I believe that restriction gets lifted in the green phase. But right now, you can, like, still masks in the store, still try not to get near people.
Bless you.
I don't think you're doing anything dangerous. I'm not going to be the first person to leave my house. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to
You're
be...
the only person in your apartment, Benny. You have to be the first person to leave your house.
I meant, like, the first person of, like, anyone to leave any home. You know what I mean? Like,
He's not the first person to do the house leaving out of all the houses.
I'm going to be, like, the 1,000,000th person outside.
Yeah, when that second wave hits, it's going to be rough.
Yeah.
That's true. But I'm going to figure that out whenever that happens. And I'm not going on vacation. I was going to do that at the end of this month and go see my parents, but my parents are like, "Ooh," and I'm like, "Ooh." That's the noise we make to each other to communicate.
It almost sounds like you're saying Luke.
No, it's, what is that noise from? One of the guys on Top Gear made a noise like that one time, and now I just repeat it. Ooh. That also kind of sounds like Bob Dylan. Anyway.
I don't know if it was this weekend or last weekend, but I think one of these weekends I was supposed to be seeing that Harry Potter play in New York.
Oh, damn. The Cursed Child?
Yes. I was looking forward to it a lot. I had a whole bit I was going to do with Tori about not telling her I was going to New York, and then snapping
and then
her...
showing up?
No, just like snapping her like as if I was still in Pittsburgh, but New York landmarks. Like the Statue of Liberty.
So bored after work.
Yeah.
Statue of Liberty. Damn, that would have been good. Almost as good as my Louvre.
I was going to say, it's not as good. Nothing will ever top you snapping from the Louvre.
That was pretty dope.
That probably inspired it heavily.
Yeah, there's so many concerts are getting canceled, and it's like, I don't even know if they're going to happen next year, but like, I have them all marked on my calendar, so I'll like wake up and be like, oh, what am I doing today? Same thing I do oh, that was supposed to be today. Huh. Well. Anyway, anything else you guys want to talk about before we get into it?
Do you know what we didn't do?
What didn't we do?
Introduce ourselves.
I am B for barely hanging on.
I am T for trying desperately to hold my sanity together.
And I'm L for let's all stay inside and be safe.
All right.
I'm more positive. I'm the most positive member of the group.
Just for that part, I would say, sure, yes.
In this one instance, maybe.
For those of you who don't know me at home, I'm the type of person who will complain when water's too wet.
He truly will. I think we went to the swimming pool once, and he said, it is too wet. I will not get in.
For those people at home,
stay there.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Brandon. If you picked up another episode, my friend Brandon made a analytical video of I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Tales game series, like Tales of Symphonia, Tales of blah blah blah.
I assumed it was Sonic Tales.
It was just a 20-minute analysis of Miles Tales per hour, which is his full name. But he sent it to me because I was asking him about it a while back, and I was like, "Oh, I'll send it when it's done." So I watched it and I was like, oh, well, if you're bored, this is what I'm doing on quarantine. So, shout outs if you're out there, Brandon. Speaking of shout outs, are we going to have to give out a shout out to this Catherine Cohen person?
Oh, Kat Cohen, I love her.
Is this one? This is one of your friends from
New
York?
I wish we were friends.
Oh.
She's like a famous comedian.
Because I swear the text you sent said, my friend's poetry.
I don't remember saying my friend. I think she said, like...
Maybe I'm just losing my mind.
I don't remember saying my friend. Because I remember thinking, is this the person everyone's mad at? Who's that person that people don't like who also has like a CC name?
No, I got nothing. I was going to try and come up with a notoriously evil person that was CC, but I was like, no, I got nothing.
There's some person on Twitter who I would guess is about our age, and maybe writes for a newspaper or something. Like, I catch occasional things on Twitter of just being like, fuck that person. But I don't know what they did or, like, why we're mad at them.
Twitter's angry at a person and we're not sure why.
Yeah. Tori, do you know who I'm talking about?
An autobiography.
No. All I can think of is Sarah Silverman.
The text was, this is my pick. They're short poems by my girl, Kat Cohen. So I was like, oh, my girl, like, this has to be a friend, an acquaintance, something? This is just a person that you like the works of.
Very
Okay. So then I won't feel bad talking shit.
Excuse me?
No, I did enjoy these, but I am going to talk shit.
I mean, I guess we'll start with mine then.
Alright.
I guess we're into it.
Let me intro it. So,
yeah, go for it.
Catherine Cohen is a New York-based comedian.
Comedian.
Hilarious. I've seen her. She does an open mic night at one of the bars, the Lower East Side, I believe. Is where we went. I want to say she's in Brooklyn though, but super funny. She's got some like hilarious comedy songs. My favorite is, oh god, I think it's like "Look at Me" is the content, but it's like boys never wanted to kiss me, so now I do comedy. Boys never wanted to kiss me, so now I do comedy. It's incredible. Yeah, so she also has a podcast that is great with her boyfriend. Very funny.
As we all do.
You don't have to rub it in my face that you and Benny are dating, alright? I get it. But yeah, so
Our love is unique.
Had them read her poetry, which is available on her website, catherine/cohen.com/poetry. She also posts it on Instagram, so that's where I was first.
Yeah, I went to try and see some more on Instagram, and I clicked the More Instagram Poetry button, and it was just regular Instagram pictures.
Oh, I follow her on Twitter. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I went to find the poems to reference, and then I saw the picture that was posted. I was like, oh, I follow that person on Twitter.
So, these poems are usually 3 or 4 sentences long and just kind of like general thoughts and feelings about everyday, mundane sort of stuff for the most part. And it definitely feels like, to me, just some, like, basic white girl Instagram stuff. Granted, it's all very good. Like, that is... I enjoy that sort of thing. This is nice, but...
So the poetry, it's a little bit satiric.
Yeah, it's definitely making fun of poetry.
Yes.
That's the thing, though, with at least satirical stuff that I don't know if it's poetry in particular or just like short form satire where like it's just, you know, like a Twitter comment or something. I can never tell, like there's not enough separation between the satire and the reality of what they're making fun of for me to be able to grasp if it's satire or not. Like, I picked up some of it was a little tongue-in-cheek, but on the whole, it's like, yeah, this is the person's, this is how it works. This is their day. I'm trying to find one that.
This isn't a comment about the poetry per se, but so it's all, at least what was on the website we were sent, is all from like the iPhone Notes app, and you at times can see how much battery life she has, and it's never less than 50.
Never less than?
Never less than 50.
I'm on her Instagram right now looking at them, and it's like 25 or 29%.
Huh, maybe.
Well, right. These are like this is the portfolio work. This is the stuff that she did where she's like very proud of it. So she has to get that battery up and get those screenshots to make it look like she's organized.
I don't think my phone has been over 50% in like 2 years.
It's like when you're doing a Skype interview and you get dressed up and look fancy, but you still don't have pants on. Like, yeah, the phone's probably like under 50% most of the time, but gotta charge it up to get these screenshots.
Okay.
Yes, but I enjoyed her poems very much.
Yeah, I think they're good.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, it's not. I feel like we're also probably going to run into this problem on my pick, but like, it's not comedy for my experience. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, I don't think it's unfunny. I just think, like, I don't know. I'm not the audience for it.
I don't think any of it made me, like, chuckle aloud, but all of it made me go, huh, yeah, okay. How about we do some dramatic readings?
Yes.
I've got them open. I'm skipping through them. I'll just pick one here. I quit my job because I could not wake up and go there. Which, like, I get that. I get that feeling. I think we all have that feeling of you get up and go, no, please no. But this takes it a step further because they quit. They could not get up and go there. Powerful stuff.
There's one that I'm trying to find it.
Here's one. People who are lol. People who never played organized sports. People who go out of their way to say God bless you at a very high volume when they hear someone sneeze. People who use tone of intense surprise when they tell me my boyfriend is hot. I got a question about that one. Did you guys ever play organized sports?
Yeah.
You know I did, yes. We know Tori was a basketball player.
Morely volleyball.
Tori was the basketball.
Eat my
Yeah, because she's short.
I was, of course, on the track team and the cross-country team.
Oh, yeah. I guess I played rugby in, like, 4th grade. Well, I just shat all over my own thing, so never mind.
What does people who are lol mean?
I assume that's, like, people who
are LOL.
But,
like, she can't take them seriously. They're maybe kind of out there, kind of dicks, but also not in, like, they're a malicious or bad person. Just like, all right there, bud.
I don't know if our listeners have picked this up, but I'm not very online.
Yeah, I don't think that's, like, a common phrase that people use. That one was just a context clue one. Unless, Tori, you know any different. Is people who are lol a thing?
I mean, no, but I understand what it means.
Yeah.
Tori, am I gang?
I don't know what that means.
That's just... Sometimes I will see people tweet that on Twitter. that they're gang, and I like to ask people that.
I'm low gang. Is that right? Am I using that right?
I have no idea.
That's apparently the fans of Logan Paul are the low gang.
I've never understood giving your fan group a name.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine it probably started from, like, official fan groups, like, back in the day when it's like, oh, you know, you had to sign up for the whatever zine to, like, find out when the Kinks are putting out a new album or something. So, you join the Kink Crew mailing list, and then from there it just, you know, moved on. But I don't know.
My mom was a deadhead. She's a deadhead.
That's fun. I have a family friend who follows the tours of... I always screw this up. One of them's alive and one of them's dead. John Cougar Mellencamp.
Yeah.
He's alive?
John Cougar Mellencamp is alive. Is he thought to be something? He's in no way like the Grateful Dead, though.
No. That's what always weirded me out. This family friend will, like, follow... That'd be like if someone told me, like, oh, yeah, I follow the Puddle of Mud tour around the country every time they go.
I mean, you gotta hear she fucking hates me 7 times a week.
Yeah. It's so moving. Well, you also have to do that for Puddle of Mud because probably 4 out of every 7 performances, they're too, like, drunk. The lead singer is too drunk to perform. He just kind of storms off angrily.
I'm just so happy I could pull that Puddle of Mud song.
I'm glad you got it.
Here's one of my favorite poems on our website. I'm sorry I didn't text you back about borrowing my adult-sized tutu for your sketch comedy show. I was on the L train trying to remember how I knew the guy sitting across from me. Turns out, it was from sex.
Yeah, you know, going through all of these and reading them, not that one specifically, but the fact that there was so many, like, New York references, and it was very, like, artsy theater person.
I wonder if you're about to say what I thought.
I can understand why Tori connected with these so well, and I felt like these could have all been written by
Yeah,
her.
I thought that this was Tori plugging her own poetry for like a bit of it.
I am truly honored. I do have a degree in poetry writing.
That's what I knew.
Do you feel honored, called out, or seen, or a combination of three?
All of them.
I'm going to use the word Tori taught. I'm going to use the phrase Tori taught me. Do you feel... What was it? Do you feel red for filth?
I take that as a yes.
I'm just so proud of Benny.
That I remembered that.
And you used it all
And executed
correctly.
it perfect.
So close. I'm sure I'm so close to correct.
I mean, I would imagine the difference here is this is not something where it's like, I'm being read for filth. This isn't the filth. This is like, oh, I'm just being read. Right?
I mean, if he had said, have you been read for filth? I would have said, yes, God, Benny, you did it. You did it to it. But just, do you
just
feel
the grammar
like
of it.
Are you feeling read for filth?
I said it like an old person would say it.
Yeah. But an old person who's kind of with it, still a little hip, you know, knows the lingo.
An old person whose goal is to serve Luke's. I'm just dropping...
Should we just mispronounce looks?
No, that's how it's spelled when people write it. I've only ever read that phrase.
I'm still flipping through some of these.
Yeah, but overall...
Like, it was an enjoyable 30-minute read.
It took you 30 minutes to read them?
Oh, no. It was an enjoyable 15-minute read. I don't know. I approximate time poorly. Last night I went to a concert and a girl younger than me was wearing a t-shirt that said, "Suck my ass," and I felt old. I know I am not actually old, but it's fun to be like, ha ha ha, I'm old. That's fair. I felt that. Like, I think I'm hipping with it, and then these kids go doing some shenanigans, and I'm like, huh. Maybe I'm not so hipping with it.
I told you guys about that. Literally, probably the last thing I did before quarantine hit was I went to like a 21-year-old birthday, like a house party in Oakland.
Ooh, no, I didn't hear this story. How was that?
It was insane. I don't know why. Like, it was my cousin's party. She lives a couple blocks from me in Oakland. Not a couple blocks, but like, it's Oakland, so it's all walkable.
Yeah.
And she was turning 21, and I don't know why I thought it was just going to be like a couple people and then we'd go to a bar. But like, I walked in to her home and it was just wall-to-wall children, and I was like, oh my god. Like, it was awful. Well, no, I mean, I'm sure that they were all nice people. I have no bad, everyone treated me nicely. But then it also, when it came time for like us to go to the bar at midnight, she was like, all right, everyone who's 21, leave. And like, it was like 5 of the 30 people who had been there.
Who actually went to the bar?
Yeah. So I'm guessing the rest were not old enough yet.
Jeez.
I remember those parties. I still go to them.
Oh no.
Sometimes.
Little baby. Wee little baby. Yeah, I mean, like, one of the people in our friend group is significantly younger than us, and we were like 25 or 26, and it was like, oh, it's other Eric's 21st birthday. Actually, we're probably 25. And we were like, oh yeah, let's go out to the bars, and wait a minute. Oh my god, he's only 21. Motorcycle, goddamn. I'll cut that out.
I don't mind a party, but like, like 28-year-olds drink very differently than 20-year-olds.
Yeah. 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds drink like they're trying to kill themselves.
And I can drink. Like, I have no problem drinking. But not at that speed or with that intensity.
Yeah. Like, I'll get there when I get there. I'll go and buy a 4-pack of, like, higher proof beers, and I'll be there.
That was also part of it, was they handed me a beer, and it was like, I want to say Genesis, or it was something where they bought, like, a truck full for $20, and I was like, oh god.
We got a 92-pack of Genesee Cream Ale. Come on, man, let's get ripped.
We got so much Jenny Ice.
Did I tell the thing about Lion's Head on the podcast before? I feel like I have.
Yeah, I remember you telling it, and I feel like it was on the podcast.
Okay, well then I won't.
Any closing thoughts, Tori, on the poetry of Catherine Cohen?
No, I would like to close with one of her poems from the Instagram.
Okay.
Poem I wrote after my therapist got mad at me for thinking everyone is mad at me. I just found out dog isn't short for something. It's actually just called a dog, which is fine with me. I'm in the kitchen alone, which is romantic in a way. Anything can be romantic if you sigh a lot. One time I told this guy I loved him, and he said, I don't know what love is Anyway, he just got engaged.
Good.
That's my love for Kat Cohen. I highly recommend her podcast. Also, it's Club Coming, which is where she does her cabaret.
And how is that spelled?
Cumming.
Yeah, send me the link after. When I put it on YouTube, I put the links to all the stuff that we do in the description, like the Spotify or whatever you can watch it on.
Wow. I can always link her podcast, which is very good. I've only listened to a little bit because, as we all know, I only listen to one podcast, and it is anything the McElroys do.
I had a realization. Last night I was working on some crafts, and I had my brother and me in the background. And I had a realization that you are going to hate. Griffin is by and far the weakest McElroy brother.
You take that back from your whore mouth.
Absolutely. Out of anything, I would Here's the rankings of the McElroys. Number 1, far and away, is Clint McElroy. He's the best. Followed, well after, is probably Travis. Shortly behind Travis is the second one. And then well below that is Griffin.
Here's the issue. Number 1, you're wrong. Number 2, you're wrong. And number 3, how dare you? Here is the definite...
If anyone... Go ahead.
Okay, there are TikToks about if your favorite McElroy is Clint, this is why. And if your favorite McElroy is Griffin, which mine is like a pretty good tie between Griffin and Justin. I'm a big fan. Like, Travis is good. I'm a fan of Travis as well. But, like, Griffin and Justin, just the monster factories have always got me going. Griffin is a baby brother. And I am a baby brother-esque. I understand him.
Here's the thing, though. If ever there's a person on the podcast to step on someone else's bit or kill a bit because they didn't think like it was going, and then also force their own bits that aren't working, it's Griffin.
Travis.
No, it's Griffin.
Travis.
Griffin 100% shuts down so many other jokes and like doesn't even see the joke in some of them. Like, what do you even talk? What do you even talk about? What are you saying? And it's like, yes, what are they saying? It's the joke. You got to let it play out. But he never lets it play out.
He does let it play out. He's the one that's always like, play with me in this space.
No, but it's only his space that he's willing to play in.
That's fine. That's fine.
Because his spaces are weaker.
Your spaces are weak.
Hey, I'm not a professional podcaster. We've got 6 views on YouTube, and if I'm the weakest podcaster on this, that's fine by me.
Benny, do you have anything to say about this?
Yeah, how do you feel about this discussion?
I've never felt so at sea during a conversation. At one point, the phrase was said, there are TikToks about what it says about you if your favorite McElroy brother is X. And I went, I don't understand any part of this.
Okay, well, Luke, I will send you the TikTok if I can find it again.
Okay. Clint is their father.
There's one
the
named
father
Clint?
of the brothers. Yes.
He's the father. He does, have you watched any of their, he does, stories from the gaffers?
No, was he a gaffer?
So he's like, he and his wife, are like reading stories on YouTube almost daily, just like during the quarantine.
Of him working on like classic movies, or?
I don't know, I haven't watched them. I get busy. I do things.
Clint was in the entertainment industry, mostly radio, as far as I'm aware. Like, he did radio. He was a DJ and did like radio plays, I think.
Okay. When you said gaffer, I thought you meant like the lighting guy on a film set. That person is known as the gaffer.
Now, how does the gaffer relate to the best boy?
Well, here's best boy and electricians plug in the lights. Gaffers move the lights.
Ah, okay. So they're close. Yeah. They're related.
They're in the same department.
On a small set, you might have a gaffer who is the best boy.
Yes.
Interesting. So what's next? What are we talking about next?
I guess if we want to stay in podcasts, I can go.
Okay.
So I chose the podcast Double Threat. It is hosted by Tom Sharpling and Julie Klausner, who I was introduced to, of course, through Hollywood Handbook. And they recently had the boys on. For those of you who don't know, Sean and Hayes of Hollywood Handbook are often referred to as the boys. And Tom Sharpling, I'm trying to think of his credits off the top of my head. I know he wrote on several seasons of Monk, which is strange. It's very funny though. He had a show on. He's had a podcast since the Clinton era, which he is very fond of saying, because the best show on WFMU. And then Julie Klausner.
Difficult People.
Yeah, she created Difficult People with Billy Eichner, and then I believe was an actress. She played some role on Fosse, that FX show.
Oh yeah. God, who was she on Fosse? I loved Fosse.
I keep telling you, you have to watch all that jazz. You would love it.
So, I will say that compared to the other podcast which we listened to, which was an episode of Hollywood Handbook with the boys.
And Julie Klausner.
Yes, and Julie Klausner was on that episode that we listened to. I enjoyed this a lot more.
Well, did you like the fact that they lampshaded in the middle that, like, you know, if we were doing this on our show, we would put a lot less effort in.
Yeah. It felt like there was more direction to it. It felt like the jokes were less abstract, and the joke wasn't we're just talking nonsense about nothing. It was like we're joking about nothing in particular. They played a game on the podcast where the two hosts of each of the respective shows had to try and figure out what their co-host would answer to a question.
The newly co-host game, I believe is what they called
Yes,
it, after the
newly
newly
co-host
game.
Yes. And it'd be like, what is your favorite, like, flavor of ice cream? And the answers would be absurd, but still tied a little bit to reality. Like, it wouldn't be Rocky Road. It would be a gallon of Neapolitan that I dropped in the parking lot. So there's it's all like dented up and stuff, and a little melted, but that makes it go down better.
My favorite was they asked the boys what website to spend the most time on. And Sean said for Hayes he's reading old Grantland articles.
I'm not familiar with Grantland.
I didn't get that.
It's Bill Simmons' old website. And it's just like, it's hard to explain, like, their thoughts. It's hard to explain. Do you guys know who Bill Simmons is?
He is an American sports analyst, author, podcaster, and former sports writer who is the founder and CEO of the sports and pop culture website The Ringer.
That does not do him justice. He, in a way, changed, like, sports, I would say media, because he was really the first guy to, as he was talking about sports, also talk about pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he would, like, if he was writing an article, he's from Boston, he loves all Boston sports. He would, like, if he was recapping a game, he would quote The Hangover in it. And for, like, in 2005, or whenever that would happen, it was, like, this revolutionary idea.
Like, not just talking about sports.
Yes, that he also knows other things. And now he runs The Ringer, where it is... I see myself so much in The Ringer, but it's every part of me that I hate. Because every article is, how is, like... what Game of Thrones houses would each basketball star be in, and what does that mean their favorite rap album is? Like, that's one article, and you're like, it's just too much. It's just all over the place. But Grantland was his, website before that, and they enjoy making fun of him. And the other answer was the Earwolf Reddit.
And I believe someone said, one of the boys said, it's probably the Earwolf Reddit, and then his answer was actually the Earwolf Reddit.
Because
or was that a different question?
Yeah, no, it's the same one. They will do whole podcasts responding to, like, a comment on the Earwolf Reddit. Like, somebody once said, like, they're not sexual enough because somebody described, like, a girl as being hot and they didn't acknowledge it. and they were like, what do you want us to do? Like, stop the whole show and be like, wait, describe our head to toe. And they ended it by saying, so please continue to give us feedback on our sexuality. It's always welcome.
I find it weird when people get, like... Because I started on Reddit, probably, like, 2012. Like, it wasn't huge, but it was still, like, reasonably big. But to hear people reference it, like, outside of the internet is strange. Like, when... Like, people taking it seriously, like, wilds me out. Like, there's shows like this where, you know, the main message board about it is a subreddit. You know, they don't have the Earwolf Fan Club website. I mean, I'm sure there might be one, but, like,
I'm sure
the
back
forums
in the day
there... The forums there might not be as active as the subreddit. But, like, listening or caring about what someone thought on Reddit seems like such a joke to me that it blows my mind that people will, like...
Well,
I imagine they don't even actually care about it, but, like, the fact that they even respond to it is, like... It's just some moron on the internet.
Well, part of the bit is...
That they actually do care?
Well,
like,
no.
That's the joke.
Is that, like, it's... They're always doing, like, 4 layers of irony. So the bit is, we're going to the whole time say we don't care, but devote a whole podcast to it. Like...
So, they're spending an hour caring about it, and then double back on it, because in reality, they genuinely don't care about it. But it'd be funny if we made an hour-long podcast pretending that we cared about it,
how
while
much
pretending we didn't
care about this. And the whole time, like, kind of subtly agreeing with the person of, like... And they say we have no structure, which, like... I mean, I guess, sure, a couple episodes have seemed unstructured, but... It's like a very weird thing. Tori, what were your thoughts on it?
Me?
Yeah, you've not said anything during this whole segment.
Yes, I liked it. I wasn't expecting to because, you know, Hollywood Handbook, I was like, I'm gonna have to listen to a lot of these. I actually enjoyed it. And I would probably listen to more of them. I really like Julie Klausner, so.
She is great.
I love difficult people. I love Billy Eichner. Big fan.
I keep wanting, because Julie Klausner and them are friends, clearly. I want him to come on Hollywood Handbook. I think their energies would be great.
I think that would be a nightmare.
Because he's very, like, I don't even want to know, but I don't think he would respond to, like, nonchalant sarcasm well.
Have you watched Billy on the Street?
Yes.
Just him screaming. I also loved him in Parks and Rec. And he voices the librarian in Bob's Burgers.
I think I figured out what I'm going to do for next week. The one podcast that I listen to that isn't a McElroy Brother product.
Okay.
Is a group of people in New York who do like a late night show that's a metal show, but it's it's all comedy. But they started doing a podcast where they would listen to critically reviled metal albums and talk about them. And got to the point where they just started, like, getting weird stuff. Like, they listened to William Shatner's album. Let's see. Limp Bizkit's Golden Cobra. Fuck It, We're Watching Beast Wars.
Okay.
And I think there's a couple people here that you guys might get a kick out of. So I think that's going to be my next one. Not particularly germane to this conversation.
I love it. Side note, I did share one of the things of what your favorite McElroy says about you in the Discord, but Griffin, you like good sweet boys. Travis, you like good sweet boys. Justin, you like good sweet boys. Clint, you have killed a man. Which I thought was correct.
Sydney, you listen to Sawbones. Rachel, you listen to Rosebuds. Teresa, you listen to Schmanners.
In the McElroy mythos, who is Clint?
So their original podcast thing started with just the three brothers and a Rock Band microphone answering questions off of Yahoo Answers. And it's the ridiculous questions like, how am baby formed? Or like, just the really weird questions, and then they would like joke about them and riff about them and take them, quote, seriously. And then after that developed, they started doing a Dungeons and Dragons podcast with their dad, who is Clint McElroy. So his aesthetic is forgetful doofus of sorts. Because not only was that his first character, but he did not quite grasp a lot of the mechanisms by which Dungeons and Dragons operates. So by the time they were like 9th level, he was still like casting his first level spells like, yes, Zone of Truth! I'm like, that's not how the spell works. That's not applicable here. What are you doing? Oh, okay, I hit him with my mace. But a lot of that was tongue-in-cheek. He became a little aware of how it worked, and definitely the best McElroy.
Since we were talking about the McElroys so much, I would like to ask, why were they included on Vulture's list of the worst fan bases?
Oh, probably because the fans are insufferable.
Yeah, they ain't great.
Ooh, who else is on that list? I want to see that list.
I'll share it. It's kind of interesting. There's a lot of the people you'd expect.
One of the things that I do appreciate about the McElroys is their moves to understand the like LGBTQ community, because I had a friend who went to a podcast thing and the McElroys were there, and she asked a question during the Q&A thing about like, hey, this old podcast, you said this thing is kind of fucked up, like, you want to like talk about that? And she said they were like very genuinely remorseful and like, we didn't quite get it. We're evolving over time to try and understand these things better, and we're making moves to better ourselves about that. And I was like, that's cool. Oh, we lost Benny. Benny's gone. Hopefully he's still recording. But let's see. Fan bases. Game of Thrones. Welcome back, Benny. You're muted again, so hit that mute button if you can. Hello?
Hello? Sorry.
There you go.
About that. I went to close out of the bracket and accidentally closed out of my whole internet browser.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome back. Let's see. Fan bases that are bad. Things that I explicitly refuse to include. Sports, okay. Political, okay. Diet and exercise, fine. Larger social cultural trends, Bitcoins, capitalism, okay. Elon Musk, yeah, sure. He was the decisive winner last year. Okay, that's cool. Game of Thrones weirds me out because there's so many people that are into it, so, like, that'd be like, oh, the fan base of sports. I know Game of Thrones doesn't have as many fans as sports does, but
they were
like, it's
awful on Twitter. And I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan. I had to delete Twitter every Sunday Game of Thrones would come on because like I cannot deal with these people.
Okay, BTS, yes. Chapo Trap House, never heard of it.
It's a podcast that I believe is like
politically savvy fans of.
They're called like there's a something left. I don't remember what the. There's like something that people always refer to them as the blank left. I don't know.
run by all male Obama staffers, would love to debate you whether you asked for it or not. That sounds like the worst.
Oh, that's Pod Save America? Have you ever tried to listen to that?
No, I've not.
I like how now we're just shitting on other podcasts that are way more successful than us.
Yeah, but like, we're punching up.
I will
it's
say,
fine.
yeah, Pod Save America, if you've never attempted to listen, it's tough.
We are one step removed from just random ass people.
That's
We're
true.
not even like a real podcast. Joe Rogan, holy shit, I hate Joe Rogan and the people who listen to his podcast. Holy shit. Pokemon, what's wrong with Pokemon? Like, I get Pokemon Go.
You gotta remember
it's
fan bases.
Yeah. But like the Pokemon fan base, what... Have you guys ever had a bad interaction with the Pokemon fan base?
I don't know that I've ever interacted with the Pokemon fan base.
Exactly. They all stay inside. And I get Pokemon Go brought them outside, but they're just playing their VR game. Star Wars, yeah, makes sense. Taylor Swift, Beyonce, okay. Harry Potter. I can see it, but still, Stranger Things, sure. Supernatural, ugh.
That's what my brother and me was up against.
Oh, and did they win?
No, they lost.
Okay, that's fair.
Tumblr girl. It said something about like Tumblr girls beat out the nice bros or something.
What do you consider losing in this? Advancing or not advancing?
Yes. Advancing is bad, because you get to be the worst, the most insufferable. Adult Disney, holy shit. I definitely know some people who, like, their dream...
Oh yeah, I definitely know some people.
Oh shit, I forgot. I was thinking more about, I worked at Kennywood, I worked at the local amusement park, and there were people who it was like, they're doing this summer, so next summer when they go to school in Florida, they have a better chance of working at Disney. And it's like, bro, it's not that serious.
Well, what people don't understand about like people who like adult Disney is like those movies meant a lot to them as kids. It's like a very unique experience they have.
Yeah.
Where those movies were like very impactful on their childhood.
They watched this movie called The Lion King, and they just loved it, and you just don't understand.
The new one?
What?
Huh?
The new Lion King?
No, the original Lion King. Have you seen it? Have you heard of it?
It's a little underground for me.
It was very impactful to a lot of people.
I also want to say, as we're kind of making fun of these people, like what you like. I don't care. If like something makes you happy, good for you.
Yeah, like, I'm talking shit about, like, oh, fuck the Star Wars people. I had a argument yesterday about Star Wars, so, you know, I am that people. This is me. I'm reading myself for filth.
See, Luke can do it, right?
Did I hit it, Tori? Did I get it?
Sorry, I was getting a snap from one of the boys that
I was gonna say, I feel like Tori's either on TikTok, like Tori went to find a TikTok and is now just down a TikTok rabbit hole, or she's on Snapchat.
What happened was I started getting a Snapchat and I was like, who is snapping me? Because I haven't snapped anybody in like a couple days, except for like my streaks. And I was like, why is my phone vibrating? That's weird. And I looked, and it's one of the boys that I was Snapchatting at one point, and he typed something, and I was like, oh no. So I had this like self-deprecating, like, what have I done? Why have I brought this on myself? And here's why. I don't think you'll ever listen to it, but some of my cello friends might hear this. It was a first year, and he did a scene, and he was wearing a fucking tracksuit. Not ironically. Like a neon blue tracksuit. And I got a bunch of snaps that were like, look at what this is. And I'm just full of shame.
As an Italian American, I'd like you to not make fun of my heritage. Tracksuits are part of it.
Going through the rest of this list, like, yeah, there's some obnoxious ones in here. Bachelor, woof, those people.
Hey! It's true, we are awful, but it's worth it, man. It's a good show. Do you guys see... I guess you guys probably don't keep up on The Bachelor as much as I do, but the last girl who was The Bachelor said the N-word on like a live stream she was doing.
Oh.
And then when people on the live stream were like, "What's going on? Like what? Like that's awful." She was like, "Oh, did I say that? I think it was my brother who said it."
Why is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure on here?
Did you hear Griffin's incredible bit about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
What, doing JoJo poses in his living room with the window open so the neighbors can see him?
Yes.
I think we've referenced that on every episode. I think that's the Easter egg if you'd like to go back through all the old episodes and find.
So the neighbors can see.
One of them you have to... It's actually... The first one, the audio is so bad because it's actually layered over the whole track is that statement, but just stretched out and made real quiet over the whole hour-long track.
And in one of them, it's in the background. That is it's an Alfred Hitchcock joke.
One of them, you have to find all 3 radios, activate them, and then throw a Gersh device at this little dot on the map. That's a Call of Duty Nazi Zombies joke. Which I've been playing a lot of. It's a fun game.
Did you ever play the one that was the bus?
No, I didn't play that one. I tapped out of the series before then.
That was the one we had in college, and I feel like if you wanted me to right now, I could draw that map from memory.
We did the original World at War and then the original Black Ops, all those maps, and we would do all the Easter eggs and stuff. Good times.
Y'all are nerds. I played Club Penguin and Webkins.
I never got into Club Penguin. I had Neopets.
I'm not saying I don't think that we're nerds, but I think you're also a nerd.
I don't think so.
Guys, I forgot to feed my Neopets. Oh, Christ, it's been so long.
Whoa, you monster!
Neopets, let's see what can log in.
I like the typing. I like how the typing is feeding your Neopets.
Oh my god. It's nothing but bones.
Did you have to feed Neopets?
Yes.
No, you didn't.
Yes, you did.
You didn't actually have to. You didn't. I mean, like, nothing bad would happen.
They would be hungry.
Yeah, their status, if you clicked on them, would say hungry.
Or starving.
Or starving, potentially, yeah. If you're a bad one.
What was the one that you had to feed or it would die?
Tamagotchi?
Okay.
I never had a Tamagotchi. I want a Tamagotchi.
I had the Digimon Tamagotchis where you could, like, fight things.
I loved Digimon.
I don't like pets.
We just watched, the other day, they redid, or they're redoing the first season of Digimon Adventures with, like, the original characters and cast and stuff. But the first episode, the end of the second episode, they make Omnimon, which, if you don't know anything about Digimon, that's like, after 52 episodes of the show and a whole-ass movie, they make Omnimon. And it was episode 2 at the end of it, they're like, fuck it, we're in deep. And Japan almost got nuked episode 1. So, they, ratcheted it up pretty quick.
Hard to up the stakes from Japan almost getting nuked. Like, where do you go from there?
Japan almost getting nuked many times. The world almost getting nuked.
I guess.
Anyway, we talked a lot about nothing for a bit there, but I did enjoy Double Threat. I think it was more cohesive and focused than Hollywood Handbook, and for that, I found it more enjoyable.
I'll say, if you're interested, listen to a little bit of Double Threat, get kind of the sense of humor as kind of a methadone, so then you can start doing the real hard drug that is Hollywood Handbook. The real hard drug of nonsense. Alright,
let's move into the last one. Clutch, the Book of Bad Decisions. So Clutch has been a band that's been around for a long time. I think their first album is like 30 years old this past week, or their self-titled album. Or no, 25 years old this past week. Or maybe 2 weeks ago. Anyway, so they're like... I would hesitate to say southern rock. Definitely like...
They're definitely
got a
like
stoner rock vibe.
Yeah, they're definitely like old school rock. They are very...
Yes. And, you know, their first album, one of their first albums was 35 years ago. They're kind of like, I don't want to say old dudes at this point, but they're like dads.
To them, it's just rock. It's not old rock. It's just what they grew up listening to.
Dad rock.
I would hesitate to call it dad rock because dad rock has this vibe of being pretty shit, but it might be leaning towards dad rock.
When you say dad rock, I think... I'm going to say one thing and then going to clarify immediately why I think this. I think of bands like The Wallflowers and John Cougar Mellencamp and Bruce Springsteen because that's what my dad likes.
When I think dad rock, I think a group of 55-year-old men playing at the local dive bar 7 o'clock on a Thursday because this is just kind of the thing they do. Like, they're not making albums. They're not selling tickets. They just do this because it's fun. And, man, do they love their cover of whatever. And they play it twice a set.
Tori, what are your thoughts on dad rock before we begin?
Rock and roll.
All right.
Good. But people also
stuff.
use dad rock to describe, like, The National, right?
I don't even know if I'm familiar with The Nationals off the top of my head.
Never mind, then.
But this is... I can see why it's dad rockish. Like, there's a song where the perspective is that of a dad giving advice to his son. I don't know if this is the case, but my interpretation of the Book of Bad Decisions, the song Book of Bad Decisions is basically him listing out all these things he's done that were bad ideas and writing them down in the book. And then he called someone, and it was read the dedication. So this person that he left behind was the worst decision that he made, leaving them. And I didn't know if it was supposed to be like a person that he loved or like a child he had left behind is kind of how I heard it the first time, but that might just be me hearing it. There's also a song that's just a recipe for crab cakes, so...
Which song is that?
Hot Bottom Feeder.
Oh, I do remember that.
I loved it.
Oh, yeah, how'd you guys feel about this?
I thought it was very interesting. What's weird is the first song to me sounded very like kind of classic rock, like AC/DC or whatever. And I saw that the second song was called Spirit of 76. So I was like, oh, this probably whole album is going to sound like kind of... It was
like that.
Yeah, but the Spirit of 76 specifically sounded like Jane's Addiction to me. I don't know why. I don't know what was going on, but it just... I was like, this is a Jane's Addiction song.
Tori?
I wasn't as afraid of being cursed by demons as I usually am for your picks.
Good. That's good.
I did just Google the lyrics for Hot Bottom Feeder.
Yeah, it's a crab cake recipe. They're from Maryland, so...
Yeah, so we have friends from Maryland. They always talk about Old Spice. And the fact
Old
that,
Bay. Old Spice is the deodorant. If you put Old Spice on your crabs, that's a problem.
What am I thinking of?
Old Bay.
Old Bay.
Old Bay. So the fact that Old Bay isn't mentioned in it is, a crime.
Yeah, that's true, but...
I had a question on one song. It's
go for it.
HB is in Control. HB standing for Hieronymus Bosch.
Yes.
Do we believe that is the Hieronymus Bosch, the famous painter, or
yes.
Hieronymus Bosch, the character from the television show Bosch?
No, it is the famous painter. That song is about because Hieronymus Bosch's paintings are all, like, kind of a little weird and surreal. And the idea is anytime the band is, like, doing a tour and they stop at a diner at 3 a.m. just because, like, oh, Christ, we got to get something to eat before we get to the next town. And it's always just a little bit strange. Like, you can't tell what it is, but there's something just off about a diner at 3 a.m. So it's like a Hieronymus Bosch painting.
That's interesting. I think it would be more interesting if it was about Hieronymus Bosch, the detective from the show Bosch.
Just, this diner's weird, and this TV character's here. He's got it under control.
There's also a moment in How to Shake Hands.
Oh, I love that song. That's my favorite one.
Where he says he's going to put Bill Hicks on the 20, maybe?
On the 5 note. Put Jimi Hendrix on the $20 bill and Bill Hicks on the 5 note.
And I hate Bill Hicks. And so that to me was just like, eh.
It seems like a lot of, like, rock people are into Bill Hicks. Like, a lot of rock and metal musicians dig Bill Hicks. Or at least older ones.
Yeah, he was real big in the 90s. And I'm sure people who love Bill Hicks will say, like, you know, when he came on the scene, like, it was revolutionary. But it just feels like so many people have overtaken him at this point in terms of, like, doing what he did better. I think that he, like, when I hear him, it's just a lot of, like, it sounds like every stoned college freshman.
On a side note, I liked the song Emily Dickinson.
You really liked it, or you did?
I wasn't like this is my new anthem, but I was like, I like this song. I like Emily Dickinson, though, you know.
If you had to pick one of these songs to be an anthem, which would it be?
An anthem for what?
For your life.
God.
Well, I'll go first then. I really like How to Shake Hands, but I don't know if that'd be an anthem. I'm not running for president. Maybe Vision Quest or A Good Fire.
I would say HB is Control, but it's of course about the Detective Harry Bosch.
Tori, what's your anthem here?
God, I want to say Ghoul Wrangler or Hot Bottom Feeder.
Oh, Ghoul Wrangler is really good too. I forgot about that one. They also do good music videos if you get the chance to check them out. It's just like the 4 dudes in the band doing shenanigans, and that one it's like the lead singer Neil Fallon is dressed up like a old frontiersman, and the other guys in the band have like little plastic horns on and like face paint, and they're dressed up in suits like lawyers, and he's just hunting them.
See, I like Ghoul Wrangler as an anthem because I don't fuck with ghosts.
But if you were to be a Ghoul Wrangler, like you would, like a Ghoul Wrangler fucks with a lot of ghosts. It's like part of his job.
Yeah, but he gets a gun, and he takes care of them.
Yeah, he gets, how do they phrase it?
I don't know why this just made me think of
this. It's like, Ghoul Wrangler, shut him down.
There was a story that I saw in my high school. I guess, like, this girl said she wanted to be a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And this girl was, like, kind of ditzy. And this was, like, maybe freshman year. And she was like, I want to be a doctor when I grow up. And this guy said, you know, if you're a doctor, you have to put your finger in people's butts. And she was like, oh, then I guess, like, something else. It was so funny.
Her convictions were not strong.
Like, right away, like, oh, never mind then.
In butts? Do I get a glove? Is that allowed? There are a couple songs on here that, like, I wasn't the most fond of. Lorelei and Paper and Strife, I think, were kind of meh. Weird Times was like, alright. I didn't like In Walks Barbarella all that much. That was the dad giving advice to his son, and it started like, oh, you're playing hooky, kid? Well, let me tell you about lasers and space trucking.
I think through most of the song In Walks Barbarella, I was thinking, like, trying to pull the name of that Pamela Anderson cartoon where she was Stripperella.
Oh.
Do you guys remember the tag for that show?
No. I don't even know what that is.
I remember that it was like on Comedy Central. She was like a secret agent and also a stripper. I don't remember the tagline. I feel like it was bad. What was it?
It was, by night she's a stripper, by later night she's a hero. Instead of by day and by night.
Yeah. That's not too bad.
No, it was... The craziest part is Stan Lee created that show.
Really?
Yeah, I did a Google after I had my little thought about it the other day.
Well, a lot of like early superhero stuff was like weirdly sexual. Like Wonder Woman, the writer for Wonder Woman was in a polyamorous marriage, which was fine. And Wonder Woman was a combination of his two wives, and she had a lasso because he was wildly into bondage. And that was like... Yeah, I don't know if you remember, but Wonder Woman's weakness was being restrained. So half of the comics, she would get like... It's like, we have to stop her! And they tie her up with her own lasso. It's like, we've tied her up. Good. Yep, now you know.
Have you guys heard the other Wonder Woman story about, like... I guess this was in the 60s. I forget the name of the dude who took over writing it. He was like, man, like, we're gonna really embrace, like, the times, and we're gonna reset Wonder Woman so she's just, like, a normal person who knows karate. And he said, I thought, like, I was, like, making her more of a feminist icon, and then everyone was like, you took her powers away. Like, you made her, like, less than everyone else in the Justice League. So they changed it back.
Or how about whoever was one of the bigwigs at Marvel came to whoever was writing Black Panther and was like, hey, there's not a lot of white people in this comic. And it's like, well, yeah, it's Black Panther.
That's by design. Yeah.
And it's like, hey, can you go ahead and put some more white people in the comic? So the next arc was Black Panther fighting the Ku Klux Klan.
That's good.
And did you ever hear the story about, like, Superman fighting the Ku Klux Klan?
No.
There was a reporter who, like, infiltrated the Ku Klux Klan, and, like,
Is this the plot of Black Klansman?
No, it was... Or actually, I don't know. I don't know the plot of Black Klansman. But he got all the, like, oh, this is the regional director they call the wizard, whatever, and this person they call the dragon. And he went to, like, newspapers and stuff, and they're like, what do you want us to do with this? No one cares about this. So he brought it to the people who were making Superman, and Superman fought the Ku Klux Klan, and they used all of, like, the specific terms, and they, like, kind of, like, made fun of it, like, oh, he thinks he's a wizard. Ha! He's just a schoolboy playing dress-up, but a racist. And, like, of course, Superman kicks the shit out of the Ku Klux Klan, and then everyone's like, wow, the Ku Klux Klan, they're all secretive, but they're actually, like, really hokey and not at all interesting. And it, like, actually declined membership. People were embarrassed to be a part of the Ku Klux Klan.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, but you held out, though, right?
No response.
Oh,
I didn't know
wow,
who he
she
was
can't
talking
respond.
to. I thought he was talking to you.
No, he said Tori, but you held out, right?
Oh, I didn't hear Tori.
I don't know if people like when I do that.
I think if you know us in real life, then it's funny, because we're very much not these things we call each other as jokes. That's the irony of the situation. So if you don't know us, we're very good people, and we'd never be a member of the Ku Klux Klan.
Unless we were destroying it from the inside.
True. The only thing I'm a card-carrying member of is the bone marrow donation group.
And look, I wouldn't want to be part of any club that would have me as a member.
That was my Tinder bio for a while, was don't swipe right because then I'll know how low your standards are.
Did people still swipe right?
Yeah.
That's says a lot about them.
Either that they don't read or that they have low standards.
I'm going to guess most of them didn't read.
Yeah.
What do you think? How many people do you think read Tinder bios?
That depends. Guys or chicks?
Give me both.
The two things. Guys or chicks?
The two genders.
Guys, gals, and non-binary pals.
That's true.
I also just want to be clear, I said the two genders as in that joke that people put online of, like, anytime they do things. And then thought to myself, that could seem real bad if I don't provide context.
My favorite one of those is you're the two genders or skate or die.
Oh. I liked female or elevator. It was like the female bathroom sign, and then next to it was elevators. And it was like, yes, the two genders. Yes, I'm gonna go with... I have no particular insight on gender non-binary or gender non-conforming people, so I'm just going to go with males and females, because that's all
Let's have Luke give the male perspective and Tori give the female perspective.
That's fair. I was coming at that from how many people swipe on mine, but because I'm so devastatingly handsome that...
That's true. Both of your numbers are definitely skewed. I am, of course, the control group as ugly.
I'm going to say that males swipe right without reading 70% of the time, 75, maybe 80.
See, I would agree with that, except my current bio is contact me by digging a grave and whispering my name to the worms, and then my Venmo. I know who I am. And I get a lot of messages about my bio. Like, the worms said to contact you here, or it was too cold to dig today.
How many matches would you say are just like, what's up, or pictures of wieners?
And how many times do people send you money to your Venmo?
I got a quarter once. I also just added my Venmo like 2 days ago, so...
So by once, you mean within the past 2 days?
No, so one of my pictures was from, I have a Halloween costume that's a kissing booth, and it's just like a sign on my neck, and it says, kisses 25 cents, and then my Venmo name, and then on the back it says no refunds. So
your Venmo's on there twice?
It was. I took that picture's not on there.
That picture's gone.
So when I swapped that picture, I had that one on for a little bit, and somebody Venmoed me a quarter. And people would always ask, like, what if I Venmo you $1? And I was like, then fucking do
it. That's not how businesses work.
For a while, my bio was just pay my rent.
Like, if I go into Burger King and ask them what can I get for $20, they don't say give it to me and then find out. I guess they kind of, I'm wrong.
Although, honestly, Tori's is even more hostile than that. Like, if you went into Burger King and were like, what can I get for $20? And they were like, fucking try me. Like, that sounds about what Tori was going for.
Go ahead, make that mistake.
Fucking do it. I will choke you with chicken fries.
For $1, I'm your girlfriend and I ruin your life.
That was one of the most recent messages I got was, yeah, I'd let you ruin my life.
Why do people say that?
Because they're trying to fuck.
I guess.
They don't actually want their life ruined. They're just trying to fuck and leave.
Here's the issue. They need to want their life ruined because that is all I am good for.
Tori, You're so much more than just a person who ruins lives.
Yeah, you're also okay at Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I have an idea for our next game, finally.
Nice.
Okay, what is it?
I think you're gonna be high schoolers.
Oh, fuck yeah.
We're playing a dating sim.
Look, here's the thing. I am above absolutely nothing. I played a role-playing game where we were all maids. And not even, like, actual cooking and cleaning maids. We were like fucking weeaboo anime maids.
Did you dress up like a maid?
No,
Luke,
I don't...
You have to tell me or it's entrapment.
I did not dress up like a maid, but there was, like, actual combat and stuff. But one of our roles was definitely, like, your housekeeping stat. Like, how good you are at being a maid.
If we were high schoolers, would it be, like, in the kids on bikes genre?
I don't know what that
Ooh.
is.
Like a Stranger Things.
Stranger
sort of
Things,
deal.
like, there's supernatural, like, it's the 80s, everyone gets around on bikes.
I don't know yet. I think we'll just have to start and see where it goes.
What system would we be using?
Well, what?
What system would we be using?
GURPS.
GURPS
No, that's a...
GURPS probably does have a high school.
Yeah, it also has roles for your anal circumference.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? What is GURPS?
There's a role-playing system called GURPS that is so vastly overcomplicated and over-detailed that it's not like a weird sexual thing that, like, roll for anal circumference. It's literally, like, in there because someone one time was like, I want to try and sneak stuff into a place, and I'm going to do it in my prison pocket. What roll for that? And they said, I don't know. Let's make one up and publish it in the official rules.
What does it stand for? It's like generic universal role-playing system.
Yeah.
And it's just like, instead of just being fantasy or just being modern or just being a Western, it is everything.
Yeah, the rules are applicable anywhere.
But it would take us a year to learn. And I hear not good. I hear
whatever system we're playing, I definitely, first thing, I'm gonna, like, try and make a broken character where it's like, we're in high school and I just get infinite fireballs. Even though we're in high school. And if that doesn't work, I'll make an interesting character from there.
Are you Googling GURPS?
So be prepared.
Well, then I'm gonna make one of the NPCs Cool Luke.
Cool Luke?
Cool Luke.
Oh, is this the thing where you name it after me and then kill me off and then keep doing it?
Yeah. Well, usually it's like, if your DM kills your character, make it, like, cool, whatever your DM's name is.
Well, I think we've exhausted all our discussion for the moment.
Yeah.
Real quick closing. Book of Bad Decisions. Pretty alright, yay?
Yay!
Yay!
Yay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's good.
I would put this on the party, probably.
A Good Fire is a good party song. Who doesn't love a good fire?
Now I want to have a bonfire.
Oh, bonfire.
Benny, when are we coming over for family dinner?
Yeah.
Whenever you want. Probably we'll have one on Sunday.
Fuck yeah, I'm down.
I mean, they don't care when if you guys just want to text me one day and say, "Can we come to family dinner?" Then you will be invited.
Hold on, let me
to
check
family
my
dinner.
schedule for Sunday. Got nothing going on. Benny, this Sunday, dinner at your house.
Are we really?
Are you going to be there?
I will be. I have dinner there every Sunday. Yes.
Okay. I didn't know if you were social distancing and staying like 6 feet away from your parents.
No, I feel like I don't know if people are gonna be mad at me about this, but I do feel a reason to.
Well, absolutely check in with them first about it.
Well, no,
I
I'm
don't
saying
want to show up and.
You see people on Twitter get very mad when people aren't social distancing the way they think they should be. But to me, I think visiting my parents is okay.
Private gatherings, less than 25 people, is fine.
Yeah, I've been seeing my aunt. I mean, I self-quarantined for 2 weeks after I came from New York.
Right.
But now that... The fact of the matter is, I probably already had it, like last semester.
We lost Tori, I
Yeah,
think.
did she cut out?
Hello?
Cut out for me, but she probably was speaking into her mic.
Yeah, that's true. So, great point.
Excellent point, Tori. Good stuff.
Please repeat it so we can actually hear.
I didn't finish it because I cut out.
We only heard the fact of the matter is, and then it sounded like you were taking a dramatic pause, and then nothing.
Okay, that's fine. The fact of the matter is, I've been your B for blimey.
Oh, I thought you were doing another fake pause. I've been your T for teriyaki. I could go get some right now.
And I've been your L for lions.
We already done. There's a super good vegan jerky in teriyaki flavor, and it's my favorite. And I had a box shipped to my.
We're trying to sign off.
And now all I want is my vegan teriyaki jerky.
So follow Tori on her Instagram and her Twitter. I don't have any social media. Stop following me.
I have social media, but I don't tweet nor do I post pictures. I just...
And he did post his first selfie to Snapchat the other day.
Aww.
I was proud.
Yes,
I
normally don't show my face in pictures.
Tweet at Benny your hot takes on The Bachelorette.
Please do, because I need someone to talk about that. Or if you watch the challenge, please talk to me about the challenge.
Alright, well, signing off.
I don't say anything at the end.